The mirrored martingale is a simple, old-school system that recovers your losses with just one win. It wins almost half the time, and some swear it's the safest way to profit. So, is it? It can be, but if you're not careful, it can just as easily blow up in your face. Before you even think about trying the mirrored martingale, watch this video. We've covered this strategy before, but this time, we're taking it to the live roulette table and throwing in a major plot twist. Let's see if this basic strategy can rescue your bankroll after a nosedive. Welcome to Ninja Gamblers, where we break down the smartest strategies for roulette, blackjack, craps, and baccarat. If you're into table games, join our free community. You'll get all the charts we use, exclusive content, discussions with fellow ninjas, and member-only bonuses. It's free, private, and takes 10 seconds to join. Link in the description and first comment. Alright, let's face it, losing money can be painful, but it comes with the territory, as long as it happens at the roulette table. Because, believe me, there are more ways to lose at the casino, and they are far worse than dropping any bet. If you play at an online casino that isn't properly regulated, aka a scam casino, you could lose the funds you deposited into your account. It might not happen on the first bet or even the first month, but there will come a time when you attempt to withdraw your payday and there's nothing there. To help you avoid this disaster, we've done the dirty work and compiled a list of proven, safe casinos in multiple countries. That list is included in the description of this video. Only player casinos included on this list, because if you don't, you're risking far more than your bet on the table. When I demonstrate the mirrored roulette strategy in just a minute, I'll be playing roulette with a live dealer from a casino on the safe list. But before we get into it, let me give you a quick background on the mirrored martingale. In the classic martingale system, you double your bet every time you lose. That's also true for the mirrored martingale. The mirrored part kicks in after a loss. Instead of staying on the same side, you flip to the opposite. So if I start with $1 on red and win, I keep betting $1 on red. If I lose, I switch to black and double to $2. Win, and I stick with black for $2. Lose, and I flip back to red and double to $4. Each time you double, you switch. Double, switch. Double, switch. Kinda like dancing the cha-cha. But hey, that's a video for another time. In a previous video, which is linked in the top right, we profited $34 after a few minutes using the mirrored martingale. Can we do any better this time? Let's see what happens. Here we are at the live dealer roulette table. We'll join in the next round. Whenever you use a progression system like Martingale, start with a low bet, because you'll be doubling each time you lose. Those doubles can increase incredibly quickly on a losing streak. Let's go with $1. When you play with any version of the Martingale, it's crucial that you establish your stopping limits. We're starting with a balance of $2,072, which gives me plenty of wiggle room. I'll quit when the doubling reaches $128, which is 7 losses in a row. It's very unlikely, but I wouldn't count it out either. If you are playing with a smaller bankroll, set your stopping limit lower, like at 32 or 64. Let's see how we do. Alright, that's a win. We profit $1 from our $1 bet. We don't need to mirror just yet. Instead, we'll stick with the regular martingale, which says to repeat the same bet. Done. Remember that when using progression strategies, we should always stick to outside, even money bets, like red or black, odd or even, or high or low. These bets cover nearly half of the wheel, which makes it easier to recover your losses. Now let's see what happens. Come on, red. Nice, another one in the bag. Let's keep it up with another $1 on red. With this strategy, you don't change your bet unless you lose. Then, you double your bet, and mirror, or switch to the opposite side. In this case, that means switching from red to black. So far, we haven't had to do it. Okay, our first loss. Now we do the mirror. I'm going to double my $1 bet to $2 and switch from red to black. If I win this round, I'll recover the $1 loss from the previous round. If I don't, then we'll double and do the switch again. Let's see how it goes. That's a red and that's a loss. Mirror by switching from black to red and double our previous bet. So now we have $4 on red. If we don't win this round, we have to double to $8 on the next one. And this is where I start getting nervous. Come on, wheel, don't do me wrong. Ouch! Black. Roulette, why do you hate me today? Let's go ahead with $8 and switch to black. If we lose this one, our next bet is $16, then $32. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Let's see. Yes, saved by the black. I was getting pretty nervous on that one. But we won, guys. Now you can see we've successfully recovered 3 losses, and we have a $3 profit overall. It certainly won't be buying me any Lamborghinis, but it's much better than being out $13. From here, I'll fast forward through the mirrored Martingale for a few minutes and show you how we turn out. Then I'll crank it up a notch. Nice, another red. Now guys, we're up $8 overall after about 5 minutes of play, which is pretty poor. Because we're starting with $1 minimum bet and live dealer games are so slow. From here, we're going to crank it up a notch with the Romanovsky method. This is a high coverage strategy. You choose 2 dozens and place 3 units on each. Then place 1 unit on 2 corner bets within the remaining numbers. It doesn't matter which dozens or corners, but none of the numbers can overlap. This covers 32 out of 37 numbers on European roulette, which is about 86%. It's a popular system, and we've demonstrated it in another video, which is linked in the top right corner. A win. Love it. Let's repeat the same bet. The Romanovsky method is a flat betting system, which means you never change the size of your bet, regardless of whether you win or lose. That said, there are recovery options when you lose, like, you guessed it, the mirrored Martingale. At the end of the day, winning roulette comes down to managing risk and reward. You do this by combining strategies and managing your bankroll, which is what the Ninja Gambler's Playbook teaches you. A full roulette framework. I highly recommend you download it from this video's description. It'll make your roulette sessions so much more rewarding, and I do mean that literally. Won again. Now we repeat. Live roulette is slow moving. Let's fast forward a bit and see where we end up. Ah, look at that. We've just lost $8. At this point, I'll switch to the mirrored Martingale to see if we can recoup our loss. I'll be happy if we end up with just a small profit, but let's see. Remember, my doubling limit is set to $128, or 7 losses in a row. If I hit that, although unlikely, we call it a night. To switch to the mirrored Martingale, I take our most recent loss, which is $8, and put it on red to try and recover it. That's a loss. Now we have to switch back to black and double our bet to $16. I'll fast forward through a few rounds here to see how we end up. Oh no, just brutal. I honestly can't believe it. I started with an $8 bet and lost 4 times in a row. After doubling my bet each time, I'll now have to stake $128, and I'm not willing to do it. That was my stopping limit, so I'm throwing in the towel. As you can clearly see, the Martingale, while powerful when you're lucky, can wipe you out with one bad losing streak. Well, time to stop here for today. I'm absolutely gutted after this session, ninjas. But hey, it's a solid learning moment for all of us. The mirrored Martingale was doing alright at first when it recovered 1 or 2 small losses. When I switched to the Romanovsky, I was winning steadily. Then I tried the mirrored Martingale to recover an $8 loss. What a terrible idea, right? Sure, but hindsight is 2020. I ended up losing $120. Just to recover $8 from the losing spin. Honestly, if I'd just stuck with the Romanovsky, I probably would have kept building profit. But that raises the question, what if the Romanovsky loss had been bigger, like $16 or even $24? Should I switch to Martingale then? In my opinion, no. If you start Martingale with a high bet, you can burn through hundreds after only a few bad spins. Case in point. If you're looking for me after this video, I'll be ordering an extra large pizza for emotional support. Jokes aside though, that's why it's so essential to establish stopping limits before you play. Always stick to the plan and approach roulette with calculated risk. Our playbook helps you master the psychological discipline and bankroll management that separates ninja gamblers from casual players who rely on luck. If you'd like to try the mirrored Martingale for yourself, only play on verified, legal casinos that actually allow these strategies, don't rig games, have guaranteed and fast payouts, and table limits won't kill your game. We've made a country-by-country list of the best ones. Link on screen and down below. If you got value from this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and join our Telegram for exclusive content that never makes it to YouTube. Thanks for watching, see you next time, ninjas.